Ben Rodriguez, aka Bar One Scorpio, artist on the webcomic Peter's the Wolf. And let's try to go to live. There we go. Entering the chat room. And close that. No, I wasn't. Greetings, as usual. This is Ben Rodriguez, aka Bar One Scorpio, artist on the webcomic Peter's the Wolf. Any opinions that I hold or share are strictly my own and do not reflect on, say, Chris Overstreet, the writer of the webcomic Peter's the Wolf at White Lion Productions, WLPcomics.com, nor Jones Beta at Palladium Books, or anybody else I happen to be doing freelancing for. I'm just a big ol' huge jerk. And shit lord. Greetings, misogyn nerds, to another episode of, well, me finding something to rant about. Oddly enough, I've really found that this one website, Elite Daily, seems to give you a lot of stupid millennial op-ed fodder that really fuels me. And I'll give you, like, a while back I was ranting about L Money, or whatever, Lauren, whatever her name was. She had a couple of stupid ones about, how difficult dating is for women now, because now they have to initiate to, because, oh my goodness, guys are too afraid to, after being called harassers and, after being called street harassers and stuff for years now, and rapists and whatever, now guys aren't hitting on women at bars when she wants to get drunk. Well, now this is this one is a very different angle, this new article that I've found, but it's just as horrible, if not worse, than anything I've ever read on this site. But before I get into the drink, let's mention that the drink of the podcast today is going to be Canada Dry Cranberry Ginger Ale. This nice, cool seasonal drink. It just came out, just hopped on the shelves this week, now that Halloween is over and done with. And the cranberry sodas are just one of my favorite parts of the holidays. But to Elite Daily. To Elite Daily's November 7th, 2014 article. Ashley Fern in Dating posted 14 subtle ways girls flirt with guys that they have no idea about. Because this is basically, because, guys are stupid and girls are just so much smarter than men, and they're just too subtle for us guys. They're just too clever, and we just don't even know how much they like us. And it's in the form of really a shitty listicle. I mean, there's not even any sources in here. This is just kind of a rah-rah, we're great because we're, vagina. But it takes a very dark turn very quickly. The first paragraph. Girls are odd creatures. Well, yeah, almost. I'm not gonna find me arguing that. Instead of saying what we really mean, they vaguely dance around the subject until another person catches on. Which you gotta admit, in this day and age where, we talk about so much about autism and people on the autism spectrum and Asperger's and whatnot, and you have a lot of young people with these apparent problems of picking up on social cues. Yeah, the more you dance around everything instead of flatly saying what you actually mean, that can only help, can't it? I mean, if you wonder why people are having such a huge problem in interpersonal relationship in the modern era, Could it be because, oh, you're just too subtle for us? You're just not actually saying what's on your mind or what you're actually goddamn feeling. To people who are so beat down that they'll spend most of the time looking at their floor anyways to avoid eye contact. You can argue this, no, I'm not, but when it comes down to it, the majority of females do this at one point or another in their lives or throughout their entire lives. One point or another doing this because just there's just I don't know what they're apparently girls are supposed to go through a incredibly subtle phase. The expecting every other human being on the planet to be a mind reader to know what exactly they're already thinking and going on about. Is this why dating is so complicated? Because people never actually say what they mean and just leave everything up to chance and guessing games? Probably, most likely, definitely. So, what are some of the ways women flirt with guys that guys may or may not pick up on? So, what are some of the ways women flirt that guys may or may not pick up on? And I really hate the fact that she's using words like women implying adulthood in this. Because number one on the list, number one, they insult you. So motherfucking subtle. Why they do it? Because being nice never got anyone anywhere. Except, got people thinking of them as, people as nice. I mean, holy shit. This is a very, what, buying into the dog eat dog world mentality as opposed to that altruism does reap general benefits in creating a society that doesn't fall to pieces immediately. How does it actually work? Yes, oddly enough, it does. Now here's the thing. This actually, god damn it, insulting you. This literally is the when feminists complain that girls are taught that boys who like them will pull their hair, and then you question why they get in abusive relationships. She's just basically gender flipped this and said this is a way that you can tell girls are subtle. We're already bringing up abuse from women as a form of flirtation. And I wasn't even, god damn it, I wasn't even on Youmacon boards when they, the Youmacon convention, unofficial convention group on Facebook just had just that board just turns to crap immediately before the convention as people just go nuts and comment on everything and everything. And somebody had actually brought up in arguing, kind of basically saying, yes, all women applies to Youmacon. Which it very much does not, was that bringing up the girls are told right from their little girl that if a boy pulls your hair, teases you or whatever, it's because he likes you, doesn't know how to express it. And here she's saying that grown women are doing the exact goddamn same thing. Way to grow up, people. Ah, goddamn. How a guy interprets this. Quote, the meaner she is to me, the more she likes me, unquote. Rating of effectiveness, hard 8. So she's saying that this is oh god damn it, that trashing a guy personally, insulting him, teasing them is a great way to open up flirtation with a guy. Number 2, this is even better. Number 2, pretend to understand football. Now, the funny thing is, the last couple of years, there's been this whole thing of, fake geek girls. There was the fake geek girl meme and the inappropriate outrage over it. And this is exactly arguing why they do it. to try and relate to men on some level, to prove that she is one of the bros and therefore not quote unquote basic. But the fuck basic is. And boom, there's just one of the 14 subtle ways that girls who are just so damn subtle that they're so, able to, so much better at flirting than guys are, that they're shooting themselves in the foot over, is literally football is, being into football, that can be considered a geeky thing. So yes, okay, we just had a woman in a listicle argue that, yeah, the fake geek girl is a real thing. So, congratulations, girl geeks. Here's Exhibit A that you didn't want, basically exposing the attention whoring. This is God. And if we continue to, does it actually work? Only if she actually knows what she is talking about. But when a girl shows up at a convention, you're not supposed to give her a big old, don't grill her on whether or not she knows actual comic books or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You misogyn nerds, you dorks, you big, there's no keepers to the keys, the kingdom or whatever. And it's, well, guess what? Apparently this, maybe the people who are, living the charges of fake geek girl and everything, maybe just travel through time to the future, read this article, traveled back in time, and started posting the fake geek girl memes about a couple of years ago. I can't remember when that thing first erupted, and the counters to it. But we get so many web comics, saying oh, girls get trashed, or girls are expected to be able to say pass a quiz to get into this, and well, yeah, I mean, we do in fandom often have meritocracies, and given that it's almost agnostic thing, how much of the rituals do you already know of our queer religion in fandom? Then yeah, okay, that actually does make sense on its own certain level. And oddly enough, the women who do actually know all this stuff, or come up with, or know the more obscure histories or even more weird things than you do. I mean, because yeah, you might be an anime fan, you might know everything about Thor, but when a girl drops, or when anybody, male or female, drops something about something else that's geek related that you would never even thought to even get into, because they were a geek about something else, yeah, that you would respect those people more, because I knew everything about Thor, Mighty Thor, and Spider-Man, but you just mentioned the female archetype, the Miss Puma from the 1930s old serial comics, and she was like kind of a progenitor of Catwoman, and donned this Puma suit and everything and fought crime in the 1930s, and that's really cool. Oh yeah, I didn't even know that about the history of comics. So yeah, it's a meritocracy. How a guy interprets this, quote, oh, this is cute, at least she's trying, unquote. So also that we're supposed to be somehow touched by an incompetency at this, at least she's trying. Let me just finish up this line, and I think I will jump into the chat, see if any of you guys said anything other than the base hellos. Yeah, once again, going to my standard. Less than up. Dang it. Okay, a bunch of political stuff being shared right now. There needs to be a kill switch under the speaker's chair to collapse the Senate chamber. Shoulder puppy. doubling gas tax. They are insane. I have already have to pay almost 1/10 of my monthly income for a tank of gas. And god damn, yeah, that does sound very shitty. Um, but back to this listicle. Uh, 3. Try and fight with you about something stupid. Oh god, that is possibly one of the most annoying of all human behaviors. And god damn it, that who expects this to yield positive results at all? And there's a cute little cutesy, because this is a listicle. Everything's illustrated in GIFs, and there's a male and a woman in kind of a comedic from some sitcom kind of looking sissy slap fight or whatever. Because physical altercations are always a good idea in relationships. As is yelling and screaming. That's certainly not initiating abuse or or a domestic violence incident. Why they do it? They are not giving her enough attention. Goddamn attention whoring. This is the I'm gonna vacuum while you're watching football. This is the at Yomacan, I was running a demo, and there was this one guy who had never tabletop before in general, and this is the same guy that crunched one of my minis, picking it up. But his girl was with him there, and she was just flopping and flailing around after a while, because she was obviously not interested in this, but also I'm not sure if she wasn't interested in the tabletop and being in there in general, wanted to be somewhere else. That's fine, but for her to basically just like a grown woman acting like a goddamn house cat when you're watching TV or paying attention to the computer instead of them. And I didn't even really think about it, because it was just so, oh yeah, that's what girls do. That's what women do. And it was like just dismissive until I really started thinking about it later is, well, that was incredibly shitty of her. But we never, but she was literally, as she was quiet, so it wasn't actually like she was specifically throwing a tantrum on the floor to get a candy bar from her boyfriend, but the same basic behavioral pattern. It was exactly that. It was all physical on her part. Just like sliding on a chair and falling into his arms and shit, and then eventually he got let off anyways, and other people were looking to play the game anyways, but even still. But this isn't subtle at all. It's childish to call for attention to yourself continuously to basically have a relationship based on throwing tantrums. God damn it. But then this woman, what's her name again? Ashley Fern, is does it actually work every damn time? Yes, it does. Being obnoxious works every goddamn time. Until it backfires horribly. How a guy interprets this. What is the quickest way to shut this girl up? You're not giving her enough attention. She just wants to have make-up sex, or both every damn time. What is the quickest way I can shut this girl up, quote unquote? Rating of effectiveness, hard 10. Pun intended. God, and in this gif that she uses of a swinging, goofy fight, I don't know what show it's from, but that, you're supposed to, swing at a guy if you want to screw him. How is this not blurred lines? How the hell is this not a horrible idea or just a horrible thing to do to another human being to try and, in the name of subtlety, to emotionally manipulate people? And she just seems to be in these rankings of saying, oh, this works, seems to be endorsing domestic violence in the name of initiating intimacy. Number 4, drink something they actually hate to impress you. Why they do it? Once again, to not seem quote unquote basic. This parentheses, this seems to be a common pattern, doesn't it? Unquote. On parentheses. Close parentheses. I have no idea what the hell basic is even supposed to mean in the modern parlance. But drink something they do something, drink or doing something that, and this of course is, yeah, ladies, you should, because the rating here is a soft 8. That's like a recommendation. 8 is great, isn't on most video game ranking sites. It doesn't endorse. Does it actually work? Yes, until she is throwing up a fireball in the toilet. How a guy interprets this? Quote, wow, she can actually, quote, hang, unquote. Meanwhile, this sounds like instead she's... this is only one of the lead-ups to one of the really infuriating things. And so much for all the treatises on, oh yeah, you shouldn't suborn yourself to a man, you shouldn't do things just to impress him. The 2 and 4 on this list are literally her saying that doing stuff solely to impress him works. And oh yeah, the guys don't even notice that this is your way of flirting. Oh God. Leaves me sad and depressed by number 5. Ask for help for something they need absolutely no help with. The classic infuriating damseling. A woman certainly doesn't need help making a series of shitty listicle videos online to argue against the damsel distress trope in video games. Certainly doesn't need help there, but and while this does play to the innate protective nature of and serviceable and gynocentric nature of men, god damn it, this is a horrible way to live your life, because there's not going to be any respect. Man, I can't, whether you need help with it or not. I mean, when I was in junior high, I had a much harder time of respecting women who I was sharing math class with, because they were constantly, my only conversation with girls at that point in my life was literally girls all turning to me once a lecture was over to ask me what the heck had been said, to have everything spoon-fed from them. I should have been charging them as a tutor. God damn it. And of course that was me back when I was early on, just thinking, well, hell, I know all this stuff. How the hell come not everybody else on the planet knows this? And here she's talking about faking it as a way of flirting. No, because that shit... And she rates it a fucking 10. It's because, dignity doesn't get the guy's attention. Honestly, almost everything that she promotes here is based around women somehow being, using feigned or actual incompetence in order to be rewarded by men, to be patronized in a relationship. How is any of this supposed to be healthy, and why? And there's only like 9 articles. She's not like 9 comments. It's not like this is a very well read one, or a one that even managed to get that many clicks probably for the site. But it's like, how are more people not calling her out on this being basically an endorsement or a of horrible backwards behavior? Although I swear this does more to prove a lot of uncomfortable truths about women. You can thank every Disney movies for this one, showing young girls that the way to get a man is by playing the dumb card. Hardly. Disney has been, certainly a misinterpretation of all those Disney movies. I don't think we've ever actually had a Disney heroine specifically play dumb. Honestly, yeah, no shit, no Disney heroine. I don't think a single one has ever actually. There were some that were just blandly beautiful, but almost all of them had a level of competency. Even when it was just like a Cinderella of the, here's the social graces, let's meet on the dance floor or something. There was a very competency, a well understood competency in the social graces that would, of course, be part of the allure sealing that deal, wasn't it? But then again, women misunderstanding fairy tales, Disney movies, tropes in general. That's a well tread path at this point. How tropes are, what they are, how they work, and why they work, and why you're supposed to use them. Does it actually work? We'll give it an A for effort. Oh, that was probably a funny, wasn't it? How a guy interprets this. This is, quote, "This is great. I can show off how masculine I am," unquote. Yes, behold the feats of strength. God damn. Yeah, but the thing is, that's the one that it would. That's the. And she says a fucking 10. The thing is that's the one that is going to wear out. Wear out its welcome the fastest in a woman. Because then a guy is going to just start viewing this woman as a moocher who needs you to just do every goddamn thing for her and cannot get her shit together, and you're eventually want to broom that person as a waste of your personal time. And this is the thing. None of these are ways for women to be actually respected. So flirtation is an attraction, obviously. Then, according to this listicle, are not based on anything resembling mutual respect, are they? Because incompetent people, yeah, you might love someone who's incompetent, but you're not going to respect them, and you're certainly not going to treat them like an adult. And if these are the 14 ways that girls are subtle in their flirtation, then part of female flirtation is not expected to be treated like an actual adult human being. Is just to be treated like an oversized child. But here is number 6, and this is the darkest point in this article. This is where it just takes a hard, dark, sharp turn straight into rape culture. Asking him to take shots. Why they do it? To seem fun and exciting. Everyone knows the more you drink, the better the other person looks. And the less personal control because of your enhanced dopamine levels you have. She is and when a 100-pound woman goes shot for shot against a 170, 150-pound man, who do you think is going to black out first? this is and when you have the modern, and she said, "This is our way of flirting. Getting drunk off our ass is our way of showing you that we are interested in having sex in general." Yet, the most recent California standards are saying basically that if you are, any level of inebriation equals rape. And I'm not even going to argue. I'm going to say that maybe that is right. Maybe nobody should be ever allowed to have sex while having had a drink period at all. And if that's the case, then this article is horrible by saying another hard 10. Rating of effectiveness, it's a 10 out of 10 for effectiveness. Why girls who do drinks don't care about the outcomes. In Miss... what's her name? In Miss Fern's opinion. Does it actually work? Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Yes, getting a girl passed out drunk definitely works. Take Ashley's word for it. She knows how a guy interprets this. Quote, "Well, I'm definitely getting laid tonight," unquote. Wow. I am definitely entitled to this woman's vagina because she has offered to do shots with me. Wow. Everything that comes after this equals a yes because she initiated, and this is just, God, in a woman leaving herself in a purposely, deliberately leaving herself in a defenseless state, or inebriating a man to the point where he loses personal control of himself because, shit, if you shouldn't be trusted driving a car while drunk, why should we be trusted? Why should anybody be expected to have complete control over interpersonal reactions or have a complete recollection of what they're doing? But then let's add the angle of, oh, her way to flirt is to her way of flirting and getting laid is to basically do what Noah's daughters did, or was it Lot's daughters in the Bible? But also, no, it was Lot's, wasn't it? Is to get daddy drunk until he screws us. Holy god damn, this is horrible. But then there's also, well, going shot for trying to challenge people to shots, or encouraging people to do hard liquor in copious amounts. Yeah, thank you, honey, for turning me into an alcoholic. You remember when the temperance movement was like all women and stuff? Apparently now a bigger point of, and of course it's just a man's liver. It's just a man's problematic outcomes with alcohol abuse. Um, the girl's not even going to be paying for the shots, is she? She's this is advocacy of a girl literally becoming the devil on Bugs Bunny's shoulder and just telling him to slam back a few. Slamming back until the trombone music starts playing, wah, 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 and he's staggering down the street with his tie undone and his hat askew, raising a hat to a lamppost to say hi. Shit, yeah. That's female expectations of flirtation. God, and this is really the crux of why this listicle got me so pissed off. There's so much bad behavior that gets endorsed in this. Going to give little Sarah Wolf. Man, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say I can't even. I can. even, and I can odd on this thing. It's just such a stupid way of number 7 of 14 subtle ways girls flirt without guys even noticing. Because all of these are also ways of noticing. These are all things that when these things crop up in society, remember, guys, these are the surefire sign that she's into you, and you should take her up to your room and bang. Right? You know, this certainly will not end. This article's advice certainly will not end in disaster for anyone. Seven, laugh at everything he says. Why they do it. The situation is either super awkward or she just wants to achieve her goal of the night. There is really a 50-50 shot with this one. And yes, people laugh when nervous, when things are awkward, but guys are also used to being the funny ones in relationships. This is also why why there aren't that many female comics, because guys are always trying hard to get a girl to laugh. Does it actually work? Sadly, yes. How a guy interprets this. Quote, I am so funny and hilarious and charming and awesome. Unquote. Rate of effectiveness, 6. And this is because, once again, because women can't say a goddamn thing plainly. There are guys who think they are on a roll, and instead they're giving a girl the creeps, and she just won't say it. Number 8, complain about how they get hit on all the time. Why they do it. They seem overly desirable in a subtly not subtle manner to make it known how desired she is by other men, and that a guy should be thankful to even be in her presence. Rating of effectiveness 2, max. Does it work if she is hot? Honestly, no, this wouldn't. This is either going to convince a guy that a woman that he is with is a raging narcissist and thus needs to be broomed as quickly as possible before she can somehow damage his life even further, with all the chronic drinking, the frequent domestic violence altercations, and also, if anything, the recent street harassment videos, what the women consider being hit on all the time, is often a guy saying hi. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's hitting on me, and there's a creep and everything. And apparently, human politeness is far too subtle for women to interpret in the modern age. But does it actually work? If she is hot, it does. Otherwise, it will get awkward really fast. And honestly, this isn't even used that much, is it? Most of us guys are used to seeing a woman like, oh, I feel so unpretty today. So grenade fishing for compliments, in the other direction. And that's another thing that we guys are getting tired of, is just the constant plays for, the attention begging to just satisfy the bare minimum of this person's this needy, possibly bipolar person's self-esteem. Like it gets called grenade fishing for compliments, and you see that shit on Facebook every day. You don't see that much of a woman complaining about how much she gets hit on. It's more likely a woman's going to complain about, oh, how guys don't hit on her all the time and blah blah blah. Well, you've kind of backed yourself into a corner, honey, because nowadays we've been shamed out of actually being voicing attraction to you, because we'll get labeled a creeper. How a guy interprets this. This is the least subtle approach a woman can ever take. No, how a guy interprets that is you're either a raging narcissist, a bald-faced liar, or a drama queen, and therefore you are not. That's why it's not effective. 9. Drop references of movies they know he has seen. Why they do it? To appear culture, witty, and chill. Unless, of course, it is actually a movie, because then often and not, most movies nowadays are crap. And this almost sounds like, yeah, bring up a meme that almost everybody knows. And that's another thing that will get real old real quick, because people who speak in meme speak, you often, start shutting them off. You start shutting the people who have nothing original to say off mentally, because your time's pretty valuable. Remember, guy's gonna die like how many years? 4 years earlier than a woman. That means he has 4 less years that he can actually spend on your bullshit, ladies. And this is funny because these are flirting. These are ways that people actually avoid talking about, But why they do it to appear cultured, witty, and chill. Does it actually work? It does if you don't fuck it up and it applies to the situation. Because, using the right Anchorman reference will definitely impress. Here's the thing: is so much of this listicle is saying like, oh, these are girls that go around trying to gain men's attention, and so much of it is on what, depending on what another human being is into, looking to see what another human being, and that's so much what flirtation is often based on too, is trying to assume mutually, as opposed to actually being a person worth paying attention to. There's no. That almost never happens with women, does it? Being a person that you would doing something respectable. I mean, honestly, a person who is always dropping references to movies or cartoons or other shit, it basically tells me is that you haven't written a book yourself or written a movie yourself, or you don't have your own works to stand on. And there's plenty of women that do awesome, cool things like that. They could probably start a conversation of, oh yeah, I wrote a New York Times bestseller, vampire mystery fiction kind of thing that that are always so popular nowadays. There's flirting. There's a real conversation starter. Oh, you are a published author? Well, how interesting. Oh, I write shitty listicles for Elite Daily. Well, you're a moron, aren't you? I'm thinking I didn't do the cross on that. How a guy interprets this. Quote, this is strangely hot. I think I might be aroused, unquote. Rate of effectiveness, 7. Really, I'd say probably not, because really remember how quickly everybody doing Austin Powers impersonations burned out? That's what she's literally saying now. Girls do this to flirt. That is a method of somehow. 10. Tag them in semi-funny Instagram posts. I still am not on Instagram. I still have no idea what the fuck Instagram. This is where the most of the article just turns boring. Why they do it? Because this type of flirting does not involve any FaceTime, aka you can look like complete shit. Does it actually work if you don't tag them in any female-targeted posts? How a guy interprets this. They perceive this as very clever since it dulls any actual conversation unless you want it to. Rating effectiveness is 5. Ugh. Say 0. I almost absolutely hate it when people tag me in posts that have truly nothing to do with me. If I'm not in a photo, I probably don't need to be tagged in it. 11. Complain about not going to the gym while looking really good. Why they do it? Validation. Needy validation that comes only from men. The grenade fishing for compliments. Or the... And hell, it doesn't even need to be complain about their looks when not good. They can look average or below average, and they will still grenade fish for compliments and go on for hugs online. Ugh. Does it actually work? No, it screams that you are insecure, or how a guy interprets this. Quote, she's already finishing for compliments and we haven't even dated yet, unquote. Rating effectiveness 1. 12. Sneak a little bit of skin into a Snapchat. I haven't done Snapchat yet. Then again, I don't have a webcam. Honestly, I don't even know what the frack. There's so many new damn social media bits. I don't even know what half of them are or how half of them work. And I don't really expect to. And I really don't expect to, because I keep on expecting Facebook to become the next MySpace or whatever, or Google Plus to go that route too. There's so many stupid little... I think people are beginning to abandon Twitter now because of the way they're blocking. And so and how many video ones are there? There's Omegle, there's Chat Roulette, there's... Right, now this Snapchat. Why they do it? To subtly look hot by quote unquote accident. Does it work? You better believe it. How a guy interprets this? Quote, she's DTF for sure. Not sure what DTF means, and I don't need to feel the need to work out. She's rating it 8. She's rating basically it. So basically she's endorsing cam whoring, really. That's delightful, that's... Unless DTF stands for disposable transitory fuckmate. Certainly not the girl that's going to Snapchat you. Her cleavage, how do you know that she's going to not be doing the same thing to a bunch of other guys for the quote-unquote attention? This is amid all the other articles about why aren't guys flirting anymore, why aren't guys hitting on women anymore, why aren't guys more, where are all the manly men kind of things, and why aren't men manning up? Oh, this... because the brass ring we're supposed to be going for is looking pretty tarnished by the time we roll around to it, doesn't it? "13. Make fun of other women. Why they do it? To look better by comparison, and thus obviously worse. And at least this one is rated a 1, but no woman will take the advice of saying that is a bad thing anyways. Almost incapable of it. Does it actually work? No, never, not once. How a guy interprets this: that you are insecure and have no loyalty. Honestly, this should be something that's drilled into every young man ever since they're a boy, that women have no loyalty. your male friends will be male friends forever, and yet the girls will rotate out their friends every couple of years, especially if they're into cosplay or something where they're where a good portion of that is for attention and competitiveness and SMV. 14. Ask to borrow clothing items. Rating of effectiveness 2. Why they do it? To appear needy. Does it actually work? No, this is a rookie mistake. How a guy interprets this. Quote, God damn it, that's another hoodie I'll never see again, unquote. Well, guys don't really attach them. I don't think guys attach themselves to their clothing that much. Although, actually, this is possibly the most one that's... this. And the funny thing is, the one that she rates a 2 is probably the most based, because, like I've pointed out, like I've joked about in Sarah, and giving her the little thought one-liner about how much she likes Peter's smell. Like, Peter smells nice when she's sweaty. Part of the more subtle... This is a very subtle... This is actually something that's subtle, and it's actually something that is scientific. It kind of get... the lingering smells that will be on a person's clothing. Of course, a person who is attracted to you will want to wrap up themselves up in that, won't they? It's a very primal thing. The song "The Sweater" is based on it, that I'm a big fan of from back in the 80s. But that was the article. And let me go to the chat. Let me fill that. Go save to chat. See what you guys have been thinking. But yeah. Yeah, Tim G. I was reading a... Oh, we got a bunch of interesting comments about other stuff in here, but yeah, this article just drove me nuts. Especially number 6, just the saying, "Oh, go out and get drunk." Endorsement of alcohol abuse as a way of flirting. But I'm gonna clip this off shortly, I think. That girl from the Amake page, Jean's big sister. Yep. I'll draw for you, and then I'll restart the thing. John Marshall. So they make intentionally vague and impossible demands of society so they can keep being enraged and everything. Oh yeah. I know that's the thing. I can't understand exactly where most of Elite Daily's political stances are, but I can tell you that they're freaking moronic. When this is like a large portion of their articles. Recent statistics say, like, a number 1, they insult you. Number 3, they fight with you about something stupid. recent numbers point towards what domestic violence numbers, half of them being initiated by women, and like 50, like roughly half of domestic violence applications are started by women, and women are more likely to go for a weapon during a domestic violence incident. And here's a woman saying, "Oh no, this is just the way they flirt. Oh no, this is all flirtation." Being an abusive, tempestuous virago who's destroying her man's liver through alcoholism. This is the mating dance to. This is the mating dance to the other, to the fair sexy. This was, mind you, written by a woman. And God. I was bored a while back, and I was just like, "Oh, what's there something to rant about?" And when I came across this one, I was like, "Yeah, this is pretty damn stupid." But there's the playbook, it's set out there, and now we know. Oh yeah, that's how a good portion of the population thinks that we're supposed to do this. Oh well, I'm gonna close this down, save this, stop the live stream, and then I'm gonna restart it in a minute. Okay, guys? And then we'll then go on to more normal stuff. I'll read comments in the chat room, and but this will be a bit easier than for me than actually editing if I want to post this on YouTube. If you guys thought this might have actually been halfway intelligent. The kind that reads like a 50. Armageddon. I had an 8th grade English teacher who would refuse to help the boys because men tend to be lazier. The only reason I passed is she made the mistake to tell my mom, who then threatened to tell the superintendent. God damn it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let me pause this out. Once again, I'm Ben Rodriguez, aka Bar One Scorpio, artist in the webcomic Peter's the Wolf at peteristhewolf.com, peteristhewolf.com, and Bar One Scorpio, BAR, number 1, Scorpio, SCORPIO, on deviantart.com and foraffinity.net to check out my artwork.